DScapades.
Here's something I've noticed. A lot of games that come out have special editions. I started noticing around 2009, 2010 that pretty much every major game that got released had some sort of collector's edition or limited edition. And to some extent, I get it. If you're a huge fan of a game series, let's say Call of Duty, it would make sense that you would enjoy an item that shows everyone how big of a COD fan you are, while also storing 9 fluid ounces of strawberry milk. You pay an extra $10, $20, $50, your favorite game comes with a steelbook, a soundtrack, or an art book. But after a decade of literally every game getting at least one and sometimes multiple collector's editions, what was once a fresh and exciting trend now seems like a shallow, disingenuous cash grab by the game companies. One of my favorite things about collecting DS games is that, aside from a handful of Atlus RPGs, there really aren't any collector's editions. But what the DS lacks in collector's editions, it makes up for in something even more shallow, even more disingenuous, even more cash grabbery. Something that I like to call the Dumb Bonus Item Bundle. You may be thinking, I've never heard of a dumb bonus item, and that's because I just invented that term for this video.
Definition, please.
A dumb bonus item is an object that is packaged with a video game for no other reason than to make an otherwise unappealing game more appealing to young, uninformed, or naive consumers. It's like the toys they used to have in boxes of cereal, except instead of a SpongeBob figure in a box of Cheerios, it's a Ben 10 toy in a box of Ben 10 game. Dumb bonus items are not items that improve or are related to gameplay. I'd consider these more accessories or peripherals. Stuff like the Poke Walker for Heart Gold and Soul Silver, or the paddle controller that came with the Japanese release of Arkanoid. These items undoubtedly add to the gameplay and experience of the respective games. The same goes for stuff like the Guitar Hero grips, Easy Piano keyboard, and Pokemon typing keyboard, because these items are required to play the game. I'm also excluding games that came with cards, because many of them utilize the cards in gameplay, like Spectrobes, which lets you input codes from the included cards, or Master of Illusion, which teaches you over 20 magic tricks and includes a deck of cards to practice on, so that you can, quote, amaze your friends with magic on the DS. Okay, but if you're learning magic tricks from a Nintendo DS game, let's be honest, what friends? I'm also not including art books and game soundtracks, your more conventional bonus video game items. These are less bonus items and more extensions of the games themselves. The CDs have music from the game. The art book has art from the game. These were typically added to DS games that had a small and devoted following. And I'm fairly certain the 25 furries that bought Salota Robo when it first came out would have still bought it had it not included the game soundtrack. I could easily make a 30-minute video on these non-dumb or legitimate bonus items, and I'm sure you'd find it fascinating. But trust me when I say DS games packaged with dumb bonus items are far more interesting. But don't take my word for it, let me show you some of the dumb bonus item bundles I have in my collection. First up in the stylus category, we have these 3 Sesame Street games. There were actually 4 Sesame Street games released on the DS, and 3 of them were bundled with a stylus. I was debating whether or not to count a stylus as a dumb item, because you can technically use it to play the game, but the DS comes with its own stylus, and using a different one isn't really going to change or enhance the gameplay in any way. The one exception to that might be these Sesame Street styluses. They're much larger and thicker than a standard DS stylus, so that they can be easier for toddlers and preschoolers to hold on to. My favorite thing about these games is that the cartridges come in one of these cardstock envelopes instead of the normal plastic DS cases that we all know. They're hard to describe, but I call them Wii Sports style cases. Another DS game that came with a stylus is Squee Balls. I'm not even sure I want to know what a Squee Ball is, but they were popular enough in 2009 to have their own DS game and Wii game. Some of the copies on DS came bundled with a stylus. I have 2 copies here, one with the red guy on the stylus, another one with the blue guy on the stylus. This is a bonus item bundle you definitely don't see every day. I've only seen it twice, and I bought both copies I saw. So if you ever see it, and it's not too expensive, definitely try to get it. This one has a bunch of items, and I could have put it in a lot of categories. This is the Cars Mater National exclusive gift set. It includes the game, DS sleeve, 2 styluses, and a cleaning cloth. I really appreciate that they included this cleaning cloth. I can't tell you how many times I've been playing Cars Mater National, and I've spilt nacho cheese all over my DS. Now I can clean it right up. Thank you, Cars Mater National exclusive gift set. If you look closely at the cover, you can see that the word international has been covered by cardboard mater, and actually he stapled it up there. I assume he's just so xenophobic that he's just, international? No way, I don't want any cars from another country, just the American cars here in Maternational on this DS game. Here we have Petz with a Z, Dolphinz with a Z, Encounter, and it comes with a stylus and a charm. Notice the Only at Toys R Us logo on the cover. You'll see a few more of these coming up later in the video. Some games are Toys R Us exclusives, like Soul Bubbles, Moto Racer, and Cookie Shop, while others like this have a bonus item that's exclusive to Toys R Us. There was also a version that didn't have the stylus that was sold at other non-Toys R Us stores. There's a few of these Petz games that came with a Toys R Us exclusive stylus and charm. The other one I own is Petz Pony Beauty Pageant. Wait, Pony Beauty Pageant? Is this a real thing? I mean, it has to be. The horse on the cover has a sash and a tiara. What do they do at a horse beauty pageant? Do they have a swimsuit portion? Is there a talent show? Does the winning pony get a scholarship to horse college? I mean, human beauty pageants, I'm uncomfortable enough with that, but horse beauty pageant, that is another level of weird. You know what, I'm just gonna assume everybody at Ubisoft has a weird fetish for horses in bikinis, and I'm gonna try not to think about this game in the future. Hey look, it's America's favorite smartass cat who thinks he's better than everyone else, Garfield. He's in this DS game called Garfield Gets Real, and this copy comes packaged with 3 styluses. According to the packaging, this was only available at Target. There was 4 Garfield games released in North America, and as far as I know, this is the only one that came with extra styluses. Sure, Garfield for Real is an odd choice to be bundled with 3 styluses, but it certainly makes more sense than this stylus game bundle. The game based on the Disney Pixar movie Up bundled with a Mario stylus. You know Mario, the highly protected and recognizable face of Nintendo? This one is nearly identical to the Garfield for Real bundle, except it doesn't say Target on it. I get the feeling somebody had a warehouse full of Mario styluses and a warehouse full of Up games, and they're like, f*** it, slap them together. Well, since we're here, I might as well show you my other one. This is Shinobi for 3DS, with a stylus that features everyone's favorite Shinobi character, Luigi. I mean, this is just wrong. I feel like this should be illegal.
Luigi, number 1. Yahoo! Ha-ha! Ha-ha! Tough guy! Ho-ho! Ha! Yahoo! Here we go!
This category of dumb bonus item was very popular during the DS's lifetime, and I can't talk about it without mentioning what I like to call the 4 Horsemen of the Shovelware Apocalypse. These games are Zoobles Squinkies, Zhu Zhu Pets, and LaLaLoopsy. These are the bottom of the barrel in terms of collectability, just the filthiest shovelware out there. So of course, I own all of them. I'm sure this comes as no surprise, but these games are bad, and in a desperate attempt to sell them, they were bundled with these cheap toys. These were way overproduced. You can still find new ones on eBay for less than $10. If you want to blame anybody for these, blame Activision. They published all 4 of them. In the early 2010s, Activision was making a conceited effort to market these games to young girls, and these bonus item bundles were a huge part of it. During a 7-month period between March and November 2011, Activision released these 4 games with bonus items, and Wappy Dog, which is a huge robotic dog that lights up and barks.
Good job, Wappy.
Activision was so focused on getting young girls into gaming that they hosted the Activision Games for Girls Summit across 4 cities in North America. Activision also paid at least a dozen mommy bloggers to write about the event in a positive light, so there is no shortage of pictures online. Moms were encouraged to bring their kids to try out some of the games, but the event ended up being on school days, so the few kids that did show up were younger than 5. Everyone who attended the event received a special pink Activision Games for Girls tote bag that contained the newest Activision releases. God, Look at all these moms getting paid to blog about how much their kids love these shitty games. As someone with a lifelong affinity for all things awful, this event looks truly miserable. It's like the Fire Festival, except instead of Ja Rule and a bunch of rich kids eating sandwiches in a tent, it's Activision and a bunch of Karens blogging about shovelware. You want to know what these moms want? They want to speak to the manager of Activision. And don't go on thinking that Activision forgot about the boys. 2010 saw the release of Kung Zu with limited edition robot hamster included, and Bakugan Defenders of the Core with limited edition action figure included. I'm gonna have to push back against Activision's claim that these editions were somehow limited in production. Even 10 years later, eBay is flooded with these things. Of all the bonus item bundles that I feature in this episode, I'd say that Bakugan and Kung Zu are the most commonly found. They may have been the worst offender, but Activision was far from the only publisher to get into the plastic figure bundle business. This one's a Toys R Us exclusive from Ubisoft called Petz with a Z Fantasy Sunshine Magic, which includes a plastic unicorn. You don't see this one very often. When I bought it, there was only one on eBay, and there's another version called Petz Fantasy Moonshine Magic, which also comes with a plastic toy. The back of the box says, visit petz.com to find out about fun, period. New DS games, period. Yeah, kids, go on the internet and find out about fun, because you're not going to find it with this game. I've just recently found out that this game has a bonus item bundle, Ben 10 Galactic Racing, which comes with a free glow-in-the-dark toy. I find this toy to be of exceptionally low quality. Even just comparing it to this Bakugan toy, you can see it's much less detailed. I have a feeling that this bundle is pretty rare. I showed it to some of my friends who collect DS games, and none of them had ever seen it before. And even though Ben 10 was a really popular series on the DS, the publisher, D3, is known to make some pretty rare games, like Fossil Week or the Ed, Edd n Eddy game. On to a much more successful game and toy franchise, LEGO Harry Potter Years 1 through 4. It comes with a Harry Potter minifigure stylus and a 48-page gamer guide. I could have included this with the stylus category, but since LEGO is the quintessential small plastic toy, I had to add it here. I bought this version off eBay brand new for $15 about a year ago. I've only seen this version with Harry Potter as the minifigure. As far as I know, there aren't other versions with Harry Potter characters as figures. No version with Ron or Hermione, no LEGO Harry Potter Oops All Dobbies. Like the Sesame Street bundles, the game itself is in a cardstock Wii Sports style envelope. I'm thinking about making a video about all the games that were packed like this, so I won't say too much, but I think they're really neat and not a lot of collectors know that they exist. Another Activision game that was bundled with a small toy was Transformers Dark of the Moon Decepticons. They released a grand total of 11 Transformers games on the Nintendo DS, and this one and the Autobots versions came with a small Hot Wheels style toy car. This copy is still sealed, but I can tell the car looks to be fully transformable, so that gives it a little legitimacy. But these Transformers games are as underwhelming as a toy car, and I've always thought that the movies these games were based off of were kind of dumb.
I am directly below enemy scrotum.
Alright, this is the last game in the small toy category, and boy did Activision outdo themselves this time. This is Moshi Monsters Katsuma Unleashed Collector's Edition Figure Bundle. Look at this thing. If I saw this at a store, I would have no idea it was a DS game. It's just another example of Activision bundling their subpar shovelware with a cheap toy. But this one, the packaging is so weird. It slides open to reveal the game and toys, and it has this cutout of the character that uses a rubber band to pop out at you. This whole thing is just a massive eyesore. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad I own it, because I have a feeling this one is also pretty rare, but the game doesn't fit on any of my shelves, and there's really no good way to showcase it. If the packaging wasn't unusual enough, the game was released in North America. You can see here it has an ESRB rating, but on the back of the box it shows 2 European games with a PEGI rating. What the hell is going on here? This could be a European release. That would explain why I've never seen it before. And since the DS isn't region locked, it really doesn't matter if you get the European version or the American version, they're all gonna work. You guys remember DVDs? They're basically like PS2 games, except you can watch movies on them. Like this is Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Squeakquell. It's just a normal DVD Oh, nope, it comes with a shitty DS game. Seriously, you think little chipmunks jumping around, getting into trouble at Dave's apartment make a great platformer? But no, this is a rhythm game with poor design and annoying music.
Everybody gotta make some noise. Get down.
Yeah,
Its only review on Metacritic has 31 out of 100, so it might actually be better than the movie, and if bundling an entire feature film with a DS game wasn't desperate enough, they also included a Mario stylus. Yup, the same stylus from the Up bundle. I don't know if there was some sort of cross-promotional agreement between Nintendo and the Alvin and the Chipmunks people, because in the 2009 movie, Alvin breaks Dave's TV playing Wii Sports. At this point, I'm surprised Alvin isn't a playable character in Smash Ultimate. As far as I know, there is at least 3 DS DVD game combos packaged like this with the Mario stylus. There's a Harry Potter one, there's a Transformers one, and then the Alvin and the Chipmunks one. Video games bundled with feature films are sort of an oddity and pretty specific to the 7th generation consoles. Like the DS, the Wii and 360 have a few games packaged with popular movies, but the PS3 is the system to own when it comes to DVD and Blu-ray combos. There are so many. Of course, some obvious ones like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and Batman, and some quite surprising ones, like this version of Watchmen, The Complete Experience, which includes the Blu-ray movie and PS3 game. There are 2 Tom Cruise movies from the 80s, Days of Thunder and Top Gun, that were made into PS3 games, and these 2 versions have the movies included. These are interesting because the movie is on the same Blu-ray disc as the video game. I bought these recently for around $5 each, and I assume that money went straight to L. Ron Hubbard's Ghost. Then there are some PS3 games that were bundled with movies from completely different franchises, like Lego Batman 2 with the Green Lantern Blu-ray, and Fear 3 with the movie Orphan on Blu-ray. But enough about PS3 games. There's still another DS game DVD bundle I haven't talked about yet. While probably less than 2% of all the Alvin and the Chipmunks Squeakquell DS games were packaged with the DVD, every single copy of National Geographic's Panda came with a bonus DVD called Secrets of the Wild Panda. This DScapades video has gone on way too long, and we are past the point of no return, so we're just gonna watch this DVD and see what's up with it. Now, this Panda game came out in 2008, but the bonus DVD is of a National Geographic nature documentary from 1995. I love these old National Geographic documentaries. They remind me of the stuff we used to watch in middle school when we had a substitute teacher. Oh yes, this intro music is the best. Let me play along with my melodica. Narrated by Peter Coyote. I don't know if I trust a coyote to narrate a documentary about pandas. Alright, documentary, give me some fun facts about panda bears.
By smell alone, pandas can tell the identity and sexual mood of a neighbor who may go unseen for months.
Yep, that's the panda superpower. They can tell how horny their neighbor is even when they're on vacation.
Their social lives consist largely of reading and leaving scent marks. Rubbing its scent glands on trees and rocks, a panda says, "Here I am," or "There I was."
I
was in the woods, right, behind my grandma's house, and this panda bear came up to me, and he said, "Give me your shirt, old man." And I said, "This is my favorite shirt. I'm not giving this shirt to you. It fits me in the shoulders perfectly. I wear this shirt every day. You need to get your own shirt, Mr. Panda Bear. You will never get my shirt." Yeah, this documentary is kind of a bummer because pandas are an endangered species. Their population has been plummeting. Their habitat has been decreased by over 90%. They are bears that don't eat meat, and that makes no sense. Instead, they eat bamboo, and bamboo has like no nutritional value, so they pretty much need to be eating it 24/7. And basically, when humans are in their habitat, they have way less chance of surviving and reproducing. And it's really kind of a bummer because they're super cute, but pandas are cute, but have you ever heard, like, don't get between a bear and her cubs? Well, in this documentary, they literally just go in and take the cub, and the panda doesn't do shit. And I'm like, what kind of bear are you? You're gonna let these humans take your baby away? That's the one thing that bears are known for, is not letting humans get their babies. Pandas are like the most frustrating species on Earth because And they just stop eating bamboo. If you don't want to eat meat, fine. Get like a veggie burger, maybe a soy-based product, okay, that has protein in it. So then you won't have to spend 30 hours a day eating, and maybe you could, I don't know, reproduce and have more cute pandas. It's simple. Just do it. Oh! Okay. Well, that's the documentary. And if you take one thing from this documentary, it's that pandas are incredibly vulnerable. And even the smallest disturbance in the panda's daily life by humans is incredibly detrimental to their health and can even be fatal. Alright, let's check out this panda game on the DS. Oh god, what are you doing? Get down off of that swing. Get down off of that teeter-totter. Oh my god, who is putting clothes on these pandas? Did you not watch the documentary? You put clothes on a panda, you are signing its death certificate. The disconnect between this documentary and the actual game is startling, which is a bit surprising until you realize it was only released as the National Geographic Panda game in North America. In Japan, it was originally released as Panda San Nikki, which at first glance kinda looks like an interspecies dating simulator. It was also released in Europe and Australia as, you guessed it, Petz with a Z. Well, in that case, put a damn tuxedo on the panda because there is no hope whatsoever. Ah, plush toys. They're so cute. From Stife to Beanie Babies to whatever the hell this thing is, everyone loves a good stuffed animal. Everyone except, you know, functioning adults. There's not that many DS games that were bundled with stuffed toys, but the ones that were are super random. Here's an example. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Special Christmas Edition that comes with 2 stuffed toys, Rudolph and Hermie the Elf. I bought this over a year ago, and it was one of the first things that got me really interested in collecting DS bonus items. This thing is just so gaudy and over the top. I laugh a little bit to myself every time I look at it. And it has to be, because if I wasn't so preoccupied with how corny it looks, I'd be talking about how god-awful the game is. The game seriously lacks any substance. There's just nothing there. It's just a bunch of simple Christmas-themed mini-games. Oh, and if you're playing this game, you sure as hell better love the song Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, because it plays on repeat the entire game. Doesn't matter what level you're on, you're gonna be hearing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. When researching this game bundle, I actually discovered there are 5 different variants to this. The one I have has Hermie the Elf, but there's one with the Abominable Snowman, one with Santa Claus, one with the female reindeer, and one with this snowman. Walmart.com has a listing for this Rudolph bundle. It's out of stock, but the price is $44.36. Weird price. It includes Rudolph and 1 friend. Friend will vary. This thing is so big, I can't keep it with my other DS games. It's been banished to the island of misfit plush bundles. It's over here with this Devil Summoner 2 Special Raiho Edition. I can't imagine 2 games that are more different. On the right, we have the well-received Japanese action RPG from STLUS, and on the left, we have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer's Christmas Cluster Minigame Extravaganza. Here's LEGO Star Wars 3 Collector's Pack that comes with a stuffed Yoda toy. If this is Baby Yoda, and this is 900-year-old Yoda on his deathbed, then this plush toy is definitely the midlife crisis Yoda. He's recently divorced, he just moved into a condo in the Dagobah system, he's been drinking a little too much, going out to the bars, hitting on college girls, but they don't seem to be as impressed with his motorcycle as he had hoped they would be. He's smiling on the outside, but you can tell he's a broken Jedi Master on the inside. Also, this is LEGO Star Wars, not plush Star Wars. LEGO Harry Potter came with a LEGO character, so it's kind of weird that they would include a plush toy in this. And LEGO Yoda is all over the box. He looks nothing like this plush toy. He's not even the same color green as LEGO Yoda. This is one of the more common plush item bundles I've seen. The last time I checked, there was about 5 on eBay for sale. There's also a version that comes with a Jango Fett toy, so keep your eyes open for that one too. Our final Nintendo DS plush item bundle is one of my favorite items in my whole collection. It's the March of the Penguins 3-piece set. It comes with a game, official National Geographic book, and 7-inch plush Emperor Penguin. I've named him Morgan for obvious reasons. I actually just discovered this about 3 weeks ago. I was doing research for this video and I came across it on eBay and I was so excited to see this. I had never seen this before. I reached out to the DS Collectors group on Facebook to see if anybody was aware of this or had owned it, and this was new to everybody. No one had seen it before. This is one of the best things about collecting DS in general, but definitely these bonus item variants, is that even after collecting for many years, I still find stuff that I had no idea existed. Who knows what else is out there? It's really exciting and cool. And that's a big reason why I'm so motivated to make these videos, is so I can show the world these unique and obscure video games and variants for the DS, because generally collectors just don't know about these. Like I said earlier, it's super random the games that came with the plush. We have March of the Penguins, Lego Star Wars 3, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But do you know what game didn't come with a plush? The DS game called Plushes. Kind of a missed opportunity. This is basically all of the dumb bonus items that didn't fit into the other categories. I call this one useless items that are vaguely related to the subject matter. Our first game is Silly Bands. If you weren't born in 2003, you probably have no idea what Silly Bands are. They're basically rubber band bracelets that kids could collect and trade, and they were just popular enough to get their own DS game in 2010. And of course, the game came packaged with its own Silly Bands. I bought this copy new from Walmart a while ago, and you can just tell by holding it that there's something inside here. It's significantly heavier than a regular DS game. I'm not sure if you can see on the camera, but the game bulges out a little bit. I like to say that this is my only pregnant DS game. A side note about this game, it's actually a clone of Angry Birds, and it's actually not that bad. I figured I should say something nice about one of these games. There is an obscene amount of game shows that were made into DS games. These game shows are alright, but everybody knows the best game shows are the ones with briefcases. And not just a few briefcases, lots of briefcases. Like I always say, a good game show should have between about 20 and 30 briefcases to be truly great. Which is why I was so excited when I found out there was a Deal or No Deal special edition that came in a plastic briefcase to carry your DS in. It's kind of cheap looking as far as briefcases go. The plastic just has a cheap feel to it, but it does look like it would protect your DS if it had to. The back of the box says, holds multiple Nintendo DS systems. Multiple systems? Mine can't even hold one! You can totally tell they really wanted to have the Nintendo DS logo on this briefcase, but Nintendo's lawyers were like, no, you cannot put our logo on your dumb f***ing briefcase. And you know what? While you're at it, you can't have the logo on the cover of your bundle either. Yeah, get rid of it. So then they had to change it to, works with Nintendo DS. But the game itself has the DS logo on it. Wait. Fixed it. Here we have High School Musical 3 Senior Year Walmart exclusive bundle that comes with a backpack. Yeah, a backpack is in here. I can't imagine the backpack in here is going to be very high quality if we're being completely honest. Well, it's Senior Year 2007. Some drunk girl puked in my backpack at Jeffy Klinkhammer's kegger, and I have midterms coming up, so I guess I could use a new backpack. I'll open it up and see what it's like. Yeah, this is a pretty low quality backpack. I wouldn't even make my dog wear this backpack. Just kidding. And with that, we have moved to our last dumb bonus item on the Nintendo DS. I have a rule when buying video games, that if a video game's appearance ever makes me audibly laugh, like really laugh, I have to buy the game, no questions asked. And that's exactly what happened when I first laid eyes on this Wiffle Ball DS Bat and Ball bundle. This polyurethane monstrosity perfectly encapsulates why I find dumb bonus item bundles for the DS so utterly fascinating. First off, it's a bad game. A really bad game. A review on IGN from June 2007 says, and I quote, Wiffle Ball for the DS is a total bastardization of the classic ball game, and this game was laughably, inarguably, inexcusably awful. Second, the bonus item isn't involved with the gameplay in any way. This isn't like a Wii Sports motion sensing wiffle ball bat, this is just a G-damn wiffle ball bat, like the type you'd find at Walgreens. Like the majority of dumb bonus items, it was included as a bargaining chip. The company was like, hey, we know this game sucks. If you don't like it, you can go outside and play some real wiffle ball. Thirdly, as many DS bundles tend to be, this was sold at a big box retail store of the 2000s. We've seen bundles sold at Target, Toys R Us, and Walmart, and as you can see from the sticker here, this one is from Best Buy. I don't have definitive proof that this is a Best Buy exclusive, but I suspect it is based on the fact that BestBuy.com lists just the game as the standard edition, meaning at one point there was a non-standard edition. And speaking of non-standard, another way that this is the quintessential dumb bonus item bundle is that the packaging is unusual to say the least. Some of the smaller DS bundles are fairly uniform and fit nicely on the shelf, but some of the wackier ones are like, where am I gonna put this? And lastly, like many of these, this dumb bonus item is exceptionally difficult to find. I bought this on eBay about a year and a half ago, and since then, I haven't seen anything else like it listed. I have eBay alerts up the wazoo, and I'll admit, that's a weird place to keep my eBay alerts, but nothing has come up in a year and a half. I believe the thing that makes these bonus item bundles so rare is that many of them were bought by children and families, and the vast majority of the bonus items were immediately ripped out of the box, played with, and lost. And come on, even in 2007, everybody knew this game was straight shovelware. Well, that's it for these dumb bonus items on the DS, but since you stayed with me this entire time, I'm gonna give you a bonus item, and it's for a system that you don't normally think of when it comes to bonus items. This is Outlaw Golf for original Xbox, and it comes with a dozen free golf balls. This is probably my favorite non-DS bonus item bundle. I picked it up at a local store in Minnesota last fall for $18, and I'm glad I did, because there's only one for sale on eBay, and they want $900 for it. That's $75 a golf ball. I know it's eBay and they can ask whatever they want, but damn, that is a big chunk of money for a sports game on OG Xbox. Knowing how special it is, I gotta think of a good place to display mine. Nice.